Arun? Arun, can you please stand up and answer the question on the board? Arun stood up slowly. He could already feel all the classmates' eyes on him. He tried looking at the board and he tried to read. Suddenly, the tick-tock of the clock grew louder and louder and louder, and the board became blurrier and blurrier and blurrier. The teacher kept asking him, Arun, can you not read the question on the board? Arun, how much long will you take to just answer this simple question? Arun, what's wrong with you? And suddenly, the classroom grew noisier and noisier. He could hear the snickering of his classmates. They were making fun of him, and Arun was feeling so embarrassed. What could he do now? He just couldn't read. And suddenly he heard this sound. It was his principal at the classroom door, and he was calling his name out. Arun, Arun, I'm talking to you. Pack your bags and just get out of the class, and I don't want you to see in school. I don't want a student who can't answer a simple question on the board. What could he do now? No, this cannot be happening to him. And suddenly there was another voice, a familiar voice. It was his mother. What's wrong with you, Arun? Why are you doing this? And he just couldn't help it. No, I didn't do it on purpose. I just can't read what is there on the board. And he just wanted somebody to just take him away from that. And the voices grew. Arun, Arun, why are you doing this to us? Arun, can you not see it on the board? Arun, 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 wake up, Arun. Arun, wake up. And Arun woke up with a jolt. And suddenly, he saw those star stickers, familiar star stickers on the ceiling. And his mother drew the curtains, and the fresh beam of sunlight fell on his face through the window. Arun, don't you want to get up and go? It's your first day at school. Come on, you need to get up. And Arun finally got out of the bed, went to the washroom, splashed a lot of water on his face, and realized he didn't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. I hate June. I hate June. I hate June. I hate June. His mother suddenly came from behind and she said, "What are you muttering, Arun?" Nothing, Ma. And she kept going behind him as Arun went to the crisp white uniform that was ironed and kept on the bed. He put on his shirt, and his mother, when she put on the buttons, she said, "Arun, it's going to be better than last year. You just need to put all your mind and soul into studying and you will do so well, Kanna." Yeah, that's what they all say, Arun thought. But he didn't want to go to school because this is what everybody would start saying, especially his parents. "Kanna, aren't they teaching you properly in school? Are you paying attention in school? Are you sure you're able to read well? Do you need glasses?" How could he explain to his parents that he just couldn't read the letters? They just danced in front of him. He couldn't make sense. How could he tell them that he was different? And then, of course, the neighbors would all get together. The tatas, the parties, the uncles, the aunts would start telling him all kinds of things. In fact, start advising their parents. "Are you giving him enough vegetables? I think you should take him for a tuition class. My sister's nephew's son was also like this. But they went to that place of worship and it all became all right. You must take him there." How will they understand that this is not what he wanted? He just couldn't make sense of all these letters that just kept dancing in front of him. He just didn't feel like going to school. Yes, he also looked forward to getting those superhero school bags, lot of stationery. But going to school and sitting in the class not able to read was not something he looked forward to. Arun struggled with all those things which the other children just breezed through. In fact, how could he make them understand that he was putting in a lot of effort, because his teachers felt he wasn't putting in any effort at all. You're distracted, you're lazy, you're not putting in any effort. How wrong they were. He was putting in so much of efforts. It was just that the letters didn't come together for Arun. And as he stood in front of the imposing gates of his school, a little spark of hope started inside Arun. Maybe this year he would find that someone who would understand him. He went straight into his classroom. Classroom was noisy. Everybody was meeting each other after a long gap of almost 2 months. And then the teacher walked in. It was English class. And the English teacher said, "Good morning, children. I would like all of you to open your textbooks and let's read the first chapter." Arun prayed. Arun prayed that he should not be asked to read any paragraph. And so it started. His classmates were asked, and one by one, they started to read the paragraphs. And then what Arun dreaded happened. The English teacher said, "Arun, it's your turn now." Arun stood up and quickly went to the chapter, and as he ruffled the pages, he looked to his left, he looked to his right, and as always, none of his classmates were ready to help. He felt that somebody at least would help him today, but no. He looked around and he tried looking at the paragraph, and he started to put it together, but they just didn't make any sense. And the teacher said, "What happened, Arun? Come on, it's such a simple paragraph. Why don't you just read?" And Arun felt, this must be a nightmare. This must be a dream. Okay, maybe this is a dream. And now Amma will come and say, "Wake up, Arun. Wake up, Arun." No, it was the class teacher calling out his name. "Arun, Arun, how long will you take to just read a simple paragraph?" And then she gave up. "Arun, you really disappoint me. Do well next time." And off she went. Arun felt so bad because all his classmates were, as always, snickering at him, making fun of him. He just sat. And then the bell rang. Tring! And Arun picked up his lunchbox and ran to his secret spot. It was an old rickety bench under a big tree, almost at the corner of the school playground. But as he approached his secret spot, he was shocked. That space, his secret spot, was already taken. There was a lady sitting there. And he almost went close to the lady and said, "Excuse me, but this is my place." The woman was startled and she looked up at Arun and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She was in fact in the middle of eating her lunch, and she put it down and she said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know this was your place. Can I just finish my lunch?" Now, Arun was not used to so much politeness from anybody. And he said, "No, since you're already here, you can sit. I will adjust. I will sit in the side." And she moved away. And on the other side of the bench, Arun sat, opened his lunchbox and started to eat. As he started eating, he just looked from the corner of his eye to this lady who was just about finishing her lunch. And as he looked up, she looked, and both their eyes met, and she laughed. Arun quickly finished the lunch and closed his lunchbox. And suddenly, the lady said, "Oh my, it's such an ill-mannered thing not to ask you your name. I must introduce myself. My name is Elizabeth and I'm new to this school." And Arun says, "Oh, My name is Arun. I study in class 3B, and now the bell will ring. And excuse me, but you look very old to be a student. And as Arun is figuring out who she is, Miss Elizabeth stands up and says, "You'll figure it out soon who I am." And just then the bell rings, and Arun picks up his lunchbox and says, "I have to go for my favorite class. I'll see you soon, Miss Elizabeth. Bye-bye." And Arun breaks into a small little half smile. Arun just followed the notes, and she started to sing. Do, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun. And she looked at Arun and said, "Arun, why aren't you following me? Why aren't you playing the notes?" And that's when the entire class said, "Ma'am, that's because he can't read. He can't read. Arun can't read." And she said, "Shush."